Live for the Zippo 2 International Road Course Racing, first road course race of the year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And we're here today. This should be a fun one, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. We actually qualified on the pole, as you see right there, with a 1 minute 10 second .070 lap, about 0.8 of a second quicker than our fastest lap in practice, and better than our even goal time in practice too. So getting the hang of it pretty quickly. I do have to say my two fastest laps in that session, qualifying that 10-lap session, were faster. So here we go. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Race number 20 on the season. Still got 4 spots open for the playoffs. 7 races to go in the regular season. Had a comeback win in the last race, but here we go. The green flag is going to be in the air. 20 laps in the opening stage of the race as we try to quickly get up to speed. Heading down into turn 1, that 90-degree corner. Might have shifted a little too soon from 3rd to 4th gear, but just really trying to hold on to it at this point. Justin Allgaier started 2nd. He was able to stay in front of Chase Briscoe right away off the start. In fact, Allgaier is actually running fairly close to us right now. Really got to get that car to turn. 82 laps is going to be the total length of the race, which is actually only 8 laps shorter than the scheduled Cup race distance. Right here, obviously these cars aren't as fast as the Cup Series cars, but still. Trying to work the throttle about as best as we possibly can. We're actually running pretty smooth. I was quite surprised, even in practice, how great of lap times we were running. So we're going to lead lap 1 here at Watkins, Glen. Just kind of holding our own, breaking the draft there down the long straightaway. Driving it in deep through turn 1, trying to keep Justin Allgaier from getting under us. Gonna try to run the carousel a little bit better this time. And we will. Allgaier staying right with us, at least right now though. On the brakes hard. Trying to get the car to turn. So far, so good. 20 laps in this opening stage is not long at all. Hopefully the tires and the fuel, well, the fuel's definitely going to last all the way to the end of the stage. We'll see how the tire wear is going to go, of course. A lot of tire wear on these road course races. And not just with the right sides, like on most oval tracks, even the left sides take quite a bit. In fact, the left sides might actually take more, depending on how that goes. But at least we've got the clean air out in front. That was so important to qualifying, trying to get the best lap we possibly could have. Just trying to hold Justin Allgaier at bay behind us. At Watkins Glen last season for the Cup race. Pretty cool event. Chase Briscoe slowly slipping back right now in the 3rd position. We're doing a great job ourselves, so just holding on. We're going to break the draft again here down the front straightaway. Of course, we got the relaxed yellows on for any of these road course races in any of the series. So you'll likely see a lot less cautions. As the tires start to wear, trust me, this is going to be interesting. We only ran 7 laps in practice. I practiced a set of pit stops as well. Times were all right there for the most part. About a 1-second lead on Justin Allgaier. Top 3 has remained the same since the start of the race. We are still going to have the Auto Club 400 later on today as well for our 5th Cup Series race of the season, so that should be a fun one. Gonna ride along with the in-car cam right now. Taking turn 1 a little bit wide there, but you can see how on the rumble strips, not only how loud it is, but how much it really shifts the car in these corners. How violent they are. A little bit of a hop there, right off the exit of the carousel also. And look at the car just skip and shift around. It's just crazy. A little wide through turn 6. On into turn 7. But we are hitting our marks at least right now though, so that's a good start to the race for sure. Really on any of these tracks in any of the series, you don't really want to shift all the way down to first gear at all. It's definitely the highest speed road course in total average, lap average for any of the 4 road courses. And really any road course in any series in NASCAR, this is definitely the fastest one. Get the least amount of turns, longest straightaways. A good race going for us right now, though. Whew. Drove it in deep there into turn 6. Got it to stick, though. It's gonna be really tough, I think, to pass the race leaders in this one. So it's definitely key that we get onto pit road pretty well whenever we have to. Waste the least amount of time possible. And once we get into lap traffic and the field starts to even out, it might be easier to pass amongst the leaders. But so far we've led every lap in this race from the pole, so we're off to a good start as far as that goes. Briscoe really falling behind. He's about 4 seconds off the race lead. It is a 2-driver race right now in this opening stage between Christopher Bell and Justin Allgaier. Allgaier's got a lot more success on these road courses compared to Christopher Bell, but that is because we have not really raced on road courses. Or because we're obviously racing as Christopher. We'll see just how we can perform. And so far, so good, of course. Still got 13 laps left in the opening stage, but we have led every lap out in front of the field. And Allgaier is basically staying close enough so that way he applies enough pressure that we do have to hit our marks on this racetrack. And so far we have, so it's definitely the key to this one so far. An 0.8 of a second lead. We actually ran the carousel really well there that last lap. Going through that chicane, that bus stop. We are really running that pretty well on the racetrack. Let's see, we're probably going to catch lap traffic here pretty soon. We'll see if that'll help or hurt us. Drove it in deep through turn 7 there. Got it to stick though. You can really see the elevation changes on this racetrack too. Has a lot more than what you would have originally expected after being here in person last year. On TV, it just doesn't, it looks flatter, you know, for the most part. You wouldn't think that there's that much elevation change. I mean, especially going in through the carousel, it's like straight uphill essentially. Similar to Sonoma, although Sonoma does look a lot more drastic than that does, but I've not been to Sonoma yet, so I wouldn't know for sure. But yeah, we got lap cars in our way right now. Matt Mills, Mike Harmon. Try to beat him into turn 7. We're going to clear Harmon there. So we made passes around 2 lap cars in the final couple corners of that lap. Allowed Allgaier to close in for a short second, but then quickly Allgaier going to fall back a little bit. He's struggling to get around those guys. We're off to about a 2-second lead. Oh, on the brakes. Jeff Green kind of holding us here. Hopefully we can get around these guys on the second longest straightaway of the racetrack. No, we're just going to have to take it easy here right behind Austin Hill. Oh boy, side by side in the bus stop. We haven't made contact with anybody yet. Second. Trying to go around the outside of Austin Hill. We got about a 3-second lead. Briscoe is closing in on Allgaier for second. Run back to the in-car cam now. 10 laps to go in stage 1. It's kind of interesting. We caught lap traffic on lap 8. We definitely caught the lap traffic a lot quicker than I originally would have expected. Carrying a ton of steam through the carousel that time. That's about a 6-second race lead. It's good that we're not picking up any sort of damage yet either. I mean, we have literally ran clean laps so far. No contact with any of the competitors, lap car, or anybody on the start of the race. Justin Allgaier, we had a little bit of a battle for the lead going on there. We haven't lost the lead at all. Not one bit on any moment during this, on this racetrack. Allgaier hasn't become side by side with us either. Nine laps to go. Trying to get the car to turn. Zane Smith, he had a runner-up finish in the last race at Iowa last night. He is currently running 32nd for Junior Motorsports. We're going to hurry up, try to get around Balicki. Got Vinnie Miller just in front of us. Slight contact there with Miller. We were coming in hot into the chicane that time. Here we go again. Gonna get on by him though. He just took a couple extra corners. Luckily, we don't really have a lot of front bumper damage either. We're actually doing a pretty swell job right now, not burning our tires up. So that's pretty cool. %61% on the left front tire right now. Right sides are pretty good, both at about 81%. But yeah, well above 50. We should be good to the end of the stage for sure. And not only that, I've noticed when you get to about 20 to 30% tire wear on any of your tires on these road courses, you really start to lose grip. This is really the first time I think I've ever run a road course with the steering wheel on NASCAR Heat 4. I've done it on Heat 2 and Heat 3 before, but... Or not Heat 2, Heat 3 though, for sure. I don't think I had the steering wheel at all for Heat 2. I tried the Charlotte Roval and Watkins Glen before. Both the Cup and Xfinity cars. But yeah, I think this is the first time on NASCAR Heat 4 in which I've attempted it. Car's sticking like glue so far though. Like I said, we haven't really lost control. We've only made contact with one lap car slightly going into the chicane. Was Vinnie Miller. He got a little loose, but he did save it though. Now we look to the inside there on Barcella, driving it in real deep. Oh, sideways into the corner goes the 89 after a little bit of contact. That was Morgan Shepherd. Now we're having trouble just trying to keep the car on the track. That was crazy. So Shepherd went around. I'm not sure if he's still sitting on the exit of turn 1 or not. Now we're all over the place. Barcella, man, he gets a little sideways, a little door-to-door action. Still got a little bit of a ways to go yet in stage 1, but we are out to about a 10 to a 10.5 second lead. Allgaier still in second for the moment. Now we finally clear Barcella coming out of turn 5. All the way down to the apron, not only to pass these guys, but to kind of break the draft a little bit too. Taking our time now, trying to get around the outside. Stephen Light running off the curbing. Oh man, I got tight for a second there, but able to keep it off of Timmy Hill for the moment. Now we clear him. On the right side of Ryan Sieg. Oh boy, about missed the chicane there for a second. That was a close one. He's getting a little out of shape here over the course of this first stage though. The longer we go into this run, hurry up, try to get around Brandon Brown before we get into turn 6. We will. Lead is trimmed down to about 8.5 seconds on Allgaier and a caution. Wow, caution is out late with 6 laps. So we have 6 laps to go in stage number 1 and we get a caution. Got some guys pitting right now. Dane, John Hunter Nemechek, Cole Custer, Garrett Smithley, and Brandon Brown will get the free pass. Those are all the drivers pitting this time. So they will be on 4 fresh Goodyears, but I don't think they're going to be able to pass us, at least right now. So we'll see. Allgaier was catching us there. Maybe he thinks he's got a shot at the stage win. We'll see. This is going to be a dogfight to the end of stage number 1. Hopefully you guys enjoy and have been enjoying this race so far. Green flag is going to be back in the air here at Watkins Glen. 2 laps to go. A green-white checker finish to the end of stage 1. Following the first caution of the race, look at Allgaier looking to throw it in deep. into turn one on that hard right-handed 90-degree corner. Getting a little tight there through the carousel. Had to get out of the gas a little bit, and here comes Justin Allgaier. Everybody from 14th on up through the field stayed out of the pit, so I just don't think 2 laps is enough to get around these guys, despite the fact we're on a road course, and this track's a 2.45-mile racetrack. Just got to hit our mark still through the chicane. Allgaier is coming, peeking on the inside. Can't quite get alongside of us yet, though. Christopher Bell holds the lead. Tyler Reddick in the top 3. He's less than a second off the lead right now. Briscoe was one of the guys at pit. He was in 3rd all day so far. Through turn 7, we are going to be coming to the line this time. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in stage number 1. We've got the lead, trying to break the draft right now on Justin Allgaier. Backed up in front of him now. Going into turn 1, trying to hug the inside line, and there goes Allgaier. To the inside, we're side by side up the exit of turn 1, but we beat him back to the gas. Whew, that was a close one. He tucked underneath of us, but he couldn't get around us. Thanks for those of you joining here. We are going to have an epic finish to the end of stage 1. Off this green-white checker after the caution came out. We had 2 laps to go when we went green. We've got the steering wheel here at Watkins Glen as we try to power through the final 3 corners now, coming out of the chicane. Christopher Bell leads with Justin Allgaier in 2nd. We had 6 drivers hit pit road under that caution that will likely stay out at the stage break. We were in the lead and have led every lap so far in the race, so why not stay out to try and get the playoff point, get the 10 stage points, and then pit. One last chance for Allgaier through turn 7. Not going to get us that time. And we are going to get the win. Christopher Bell wins stage 1 at Watkins Glen. So still 62 laps to go as we roll into the 2nd stage of the race now. And get to see how this one's going to shape up. Definitely going to pit for 4 fresh tires here. Yeah, everybody that pit the first time through definitely going to stay out here. Stephen Light will get the free pass, so there will be 23 drivers on the lead lap when we go green. Car was handling fine, no need to repair any damage. 4 fresh tires, 3/4 of a tank of fuel will be enough to fill it up. And we will get ready to start stage number 2 on our first road course race of the season in the Xfinity Series. So we're going to lose the lead, obviously, but that's alright. We'll hopefully get it back at some point in time. Going to restart in 6th. Everybody that's actually in the top 5, so only 5 drivers pitted under that first caution of the race. Green flag back in the air here at Watkins Glen. Stage 2 underway, quickly getting through the shifts, nice at least on the restart. Down into turn 1, this is going to get a little tight. 3 wide for a short moment, keeping it to the inside of the 23, slight contact. Off the exit of turn 1, and Ross Chastain's got the clean air out in front. Can we try to work our way around him? Into the chicane. Oh, drove it in a little deep. Well, missed our braking zone there. Oh man, really sideways up the exit. Stayed in the gas. Almost felt like we were in a dirt car for a second there. Barely lost any ground at all, though, on Chastain. Just kind of spun the tires a little bit. Might have to back off just a little bit, kind of save the tires so we don't burn them up too bad. So we still have some sort of energy to try and catch Ross. On the field, gonna try to break the draft here. Maybe that was hurting us a little bit. 16 laps to go in stage 2. On the brakes again, we really closed in big time on Chastain through turn 1. Man, you get onto those the rumble strips there. Really likes to spin the car sideways, especially, oh boy, man, especially when you try to shift when you're on top of those rumble strips. really pushing the car hard to try and get around Chastain. When you have the clean air out in front and control the pace, I mean, you saw in stage 1 that we were able to maintain a lead about like Ross Chastain is right now. We were hitting our marks pretty well. We're in this dirty air. We're in the mix of not only in the dirty air, but we're also trying to push the car a little bit harder to at least keep the pressure on Ross Chastain. Good corner there through turn 6. Going to gain a little bit more time again. Problem is we're not beating him back to the gas when we hit these long straightaways, and that's part of why he's able to stay right in front of us. John Hunter Nemechek in third. He is falling behind slightly. We know Briscoe's got a fast car. He's in fourth right now, just behind him. Big run coming on the 4 of Chastain. Can't block us this time. And we're going to zoom right by him. Christopher Bell back out in front for the second time here today at Watkins Glen. It's not official, though, until we get back to the start-finish line. Now we'll try to pull away from Chastain here. I think we're definitely faster than him. It just took a couple extra laps, though. That's all. We got around him clean, too, so that's good to show for. $14 laps to go now. Again, second stage of the race. Shaping up to where the third and final stage, we will probably be about 3 laps short on fuel to the end of the stage. And that could definitely shape up for some very, very interesting pit strategy. And Chastain doing what we did, he's keeping the pressure on us as we're not really able to pull away like I expected. We just beat him through the carousel and we're able to clear him before we got into the chicane a lap or 2 ago. Oh, a little tight off of turn 7. And I think we shifted from third to fourth a little too soon there, and we're going to lose the lead. Chastain leads the lap at the line with 13 to go in the stage. So that's a little unfortunate. Going to lose the lead. Now it's time to run him back down again. And 2-lap pressure tires really isn't going to do a whole lot for us, even though we're on a road course. Realistically, it's a little less than 5 miles of fresher tires. Driving in deep through the chicane, really trying to gain a ton of time on Ross this lap, and we did. I'm driving it in deep here through turn 5, and we're getting it to stick for the most part. Big run coming off of turn 5. Chastain's still going to hold us clear, though, before we get into turn 6. Carrying a ton of speed off the exit of the corner, trying to beat him into turn 7, hard on the brakes. Who will win the race back to the gas? Went all the way down here, trying to break the side draft now. 12 laps to go in the stage, trying to come right back up on him side by side into turn 1. Man, these corners get so tight when you're racing side by side with one another. We are still there. And now we are going to beat him into the carousel. Stage 2, a lot more race here than what stage 1 was. And track position is definitely going to be key here over the course of this race. I think us having a stellar restart, getting from 6th to 2nd, definitely helped us with the track position. If we didn't get a good restart there, we were in the middle of the pack. Probably would have been a lot harder to win this stage, especially if we go caution free to the end of it. So now we just got to at least maintain the lead again like we did on Chastain. All the way down, we're going to break the draft again. 11 laps to go in stage 2. A little wider than what I wanted to go through turn 1. Oh, it's still pretty good though. Be interesting with the Cup cars though, starting in 2021 when they have 5 gears on these road courses. How much different it will have to be and what gears to shift down when. Road courses are really going to take a lot of practice time, I think, to get used to. Just with that, and finding which is the better way around the racetrack. They run the Clash on the Daytona road course next year. Unfortunately, they'll be, well, I guess fortunately in a sense, they are going to be with the cars that they are using this year, so we'll not get to see that 5th gear in action until the duels. So the first road course, getting into the schedule hasn't come out yet, but it'll likely end up being Sonoma, if I had to guess, for next season in the Cup Series. Got about a 1.5 second lead on Chastain right now. We still haven't quite caught lap traffic yet in the stage. We will pretty soon here, I would think. Unless we get a caution. It's not impossible. We had a caution with 6 laps to go back in stage number 1. And it was our only caution of the race thus far. Check out of the gas a little bit. 2-second lead is not big at all. We'll see how the lap traffic will work this time around. It seemed like it was working out to our advantage for the most part in stage 1. We went into the lap traffic with a little less than a 1-second lead, and now, as of right now in the race, our lead is about 2 seconds, so a little bit better here. We haven't seen Justin Allgaier inside the top 5 since stage 1 when he finished 2nd. Put up a pretty good fight, so we do know he's got a fast car if he can get the track position again sometime later in the race. But yeah, track position, unless you're one of the back market cars, seems like is going to mean a lot more in this race. Quickly looking to the outside of John Jackson through that corner. Quickly trying to get around BJ McLeod, will do it. Now going to try to beat Austin Hill into turn 6. about a 2.5 to 3 second lead on Chastain. Now it's closer to about 3 to 3.5 seconds. Must have caught the lap cars going through the carousel there, which is not a good spot at all to catch him. We caught him in a pretty decent situation there off the backstretch chicane. We were able to clear everybody off of turn 6. Awkwardly there, kind of entering the corner that time, but got it to stick, of course. And this race is flying by, almost through the first 2 stages already. Road course races go by pretty quickly, especially with it only being 82 laps here. Six to go. So this was the point at which the caution came out back in stage 1. Still not entirely sure what the caution came out on. I do know there has been one driver that has DNF'd in this race since then, and very easily could have been a transmission issue, especially with having to shift on these road courses as much as what we are doing. Probably going to catch at least one, if not 2 of these lap cars in a terrible spot there. And Opera going around the outside there for a short moment. We are going to get by Zane Smith. And now, when we go into turn 6, we got Stephen Light, who's the last driver on the lead lap right now, just in front of us, stuck behind Vinnie Miller. We're kind of boxed in with all these lap cars right now. And now we're 3 wide going through turn 7. And look at Stephen Light trying to hold on to his lead lap position as we about stuffed it in the wall off of turn 7. 5 laps to go in the stage. Now looking to the inside of Light to the end of turn 1. Trying to make the pass. Deep cut into the corner. Barely clearing him coming out. It wasn't going to get out of the gas there. Wanted to make sure we had him cleared, and we barely did. If anything, he might have gotten out of the gas and he was like, well, we'll just get the free pass at the end of the stage, or a caution, whatever comes first. We definitely led the most laps in. On caution free in stage 2, we've led all but 3 or 4 laps in this race, so 3 or 4 green flag laps, that is, under caution. Obviously, we didn't lead a couple more, but besides the point. We now have 4 laps to go in the stage. 7-second lead on Chastain. He's holding in there pretty strong for the most part here. He is losing a little bit of ground, though. He's got a really big lead on Kaz Gralla, who is still in 3rd over Chase Briscoe right now. Briscoe definitely, in my opinion, going to be one of the sleeper cars. He hasn't led a lap in this race, but he's been consistently inside the top 5. And now Justin Allgaier's back in the 5th position, so it's taken him a while, but he is driving through this field. Oh boy, gonna get tight. Trying to put Brandon Brown a lap down now in the 22nd position on this racetrack through turn 7. Awkward angle on the outside. Trying to beat him back to the gas, we will. 3 laps to go now in stage 2 at the line, so if the caution comes out, it will get us to the end of the stage at least. Therefore, it looks like, unless something drastic happens, which you never know on these road courses, get a penalty for missing the chicane or something, have to come to a complete stop, but we're definitely off to a good start here in this race. 11-second lead now. Chastain in the league of his own back there in second, as we are in the lead as well. That big of a lead right now, and even quite a bit of time before we even catch another lap car in this race, so we'll likely go to the end of the stage without catching another lap car. They're all kind of sectioned off with each other. Different areas of the racetrack, it seems like. Not really getting too spaced out from one another. We are definitely running some good laps, though. I do feel confident that we should have a pretty good run going for ourselves here. And we should have a good shot at the win. I would assume everybody's going to hit pit road during the stage break here in stage 2. We'll definitely take 4 fresh Goodyear tires. I'm sure the rest of the field will as well. We'll see for sure. But it is looking pretty good so far. 12-second lead on Chastain into turn 6 now. So here we go, off of turn number 7, driving it out big time there. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in stage 2. And 110.719, that's a fast lap. We're not having a ton of clean air right now, but and having about 17 green flag laps on my tires too, so that's some pretty good things to see. Allgaier's now up to 4th. Briscoe's falling outside the top 5, and maybe Allgaier still got a shot at Kaz Grala for 3rd. He is only about a half second behind him. They are just past the start-finish line going into turn 1 right now, as we are in turn 5. And so yeah, pretty good start to this race. Two turns to go through turn 6 now. Running our own race. Out through turn 7. Carrying the speed, kind of testing how much we can really carry the speed here. Green, white checker flag in the air again for Christopher Bell. We will win stage number 2 just like we did in stage 1. And we're seeing some great racing action here so far. A little bit of a ways here before we get some other competitors to catch us. So we'll definitely hit pit road. Not going to repair any damage, don't need to. 4 fresh tires, 3/4 of a tank of fuel will be enough to fill it up to the end. So we will be short on fuel. We'll be about 9 laps short by the time we go green. So here we are, we won the race off the pit road. Grala actually gains a spot there, finishes second off of the pit stop despite finishing third rather, at the end of stage number 2. Green flag back in the air as we control the pace on the restart. And look at Grala trying to run it deep now into turn 1. Battle for the clean air coming off of the first corner. We're still side by side for the race lead now through the carousel. Kaz Grala from second to the lead. He powers past us. What a move. And look at him go. Kind of took me by surprise. I didn't think he was going to drive it as deep there into turn 1 like he did. And he got it to stick. Closing in onto the back bumper of Grala. Out through turn 5, trying to carry as much speed as we can. Off the exit of the corner, using all the racetrack and the access road there. Now into turn 6, but yeah, Gralla really grabbing that clean air when he could. Getting out in front of this field. Now we're having to push this race car again. Got about a second and a half before you see Ross Chastain in the rearview mirror behind us. Can Kaz Gralla steal the win in this one? I would not have thought he would have been one of the contenders to win this race, but third place finish, he was able to hold on. Off of Justin Allgaier, Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek back at stage 2. Good run coming out of the carousel. We're going to gain some time here, but I don't think we're going to be within passing distance. Trying to get whatever draft we can off of him. Driving it deep into the chicane, a little bit of contact. And we're still trying to keep it going, so we drove it in a little too deep there, but Gralla does hold on to the lead, at least for now. Gralla kind of pulled us that lap. He's got about a half-second lead now going into turn 1 with 37 laps to go. Maybe he made some adjustments to his car at the end of the stage 2 that kind of helped him. I mean, I did not see this coming after how soundly we won stage 2. Almost got a little too confident, maybe. They're really good running through that carousel, though. It carries so much speed going into the chicane. Trying to close the door on Gralla again. Quickly side by side now into turn 5. Driving it in deep. Crossover move coming, but he can't quite get there. We're able to block him off. Christopher Bell back out in front now for the 3rd time in this race at Watkins. 4th time in the race, rather, at Watkins Glen. We'll see how Gralla does now from the 2nd position. It'll be an official lead change when we get back to the line. There he goes. We go all the way down to the bottom of the track, trying to break the draft now. Bell to the lead, 36 to go. Gralla, will he try running it in deep into turn 1? He was down on the curb there on the right side of the racetrack, the inside of that corner. Doing a good job so far. How will this keep up? Almost a 1-second lead on Gralla. We'll head to the in-car cam with 35 laps to go now in this race. See how this goes over the next quadrant of laps. Barely let out of the gas that time through the carousel. I wanted to see if I could push the limit, but man, those rumble strips would really get me loose, so I wanted to check up just to be safe there. Again, racing with the steering wheel in this one, so that's why if you hear a lot of the clicking noise, you can hear the shifts going on. The paddle shifters that I have. Wish I had an actual like stick shift, but I don't. Well, that'll be in the future when I can upgrade a steering wheel at some point in time, maybe. Wow, that was a deep drive into the corner. Still just outside the pit window right now. About a half-second lead on Gralla still, and about 2.5 seconds out ahead of Ross Chastain in third. Almost 2/3 of the way through the race. We are definitely past halfway. We were a little past halfway when we started, or when we dropped the green flag in stage 3 after those caution laps. Still 32 laps left. That's all we can really run on fuel is about 30 laps. So again, still outside the pit window, at least for right now. This will be the last lap of the race in which we will run with the in-car cam. Then we'll move to the hood cam for the next 4 laps after that. And then the next 4 laps after that, we'll go to the front bumper camera. Really control your breathing here. Road courses are so much of a momentum race. It reminds me a lot of dirt racing. Dirt racing and short track racing. And rhythm in general on any track is so key to how you race over the long stretch and the long green flag runs, but short tracks, road courses, gotta just hit your marks as much as you possibly can. Saves you as much time as possible over the course of the race. Still see Gralla and somewhat of Chastain and Allgaier in certain moments when we're on these longer straightaways. You can see him coming out of the prior corner, but Gralla is still there. The white and red car behind us. Still about a second off the lead. We're about to catch lap traffic here in the next couple laps. Oh, about missed our corner there. Really trying to hold on to it. My goodness. Return 5. Not sure exactly what happened there. And here comes Kaz Gralla now looking on us. And at turn 6, we slipped up the track, and here comes Gralla side by side into turn 7. And here we go, trying to side draft off of him now. Down to the bottom to break the draft. Oh my goodness, we're so loose. Just that little bit of a looseness is going to allow him to clear us now going into turn 1. Oh man, we did not run that corner well at all either. Gralla out to about a 2-second lead now. Growler now caught right behind one of the lap cars again. Off the exit of the corner, trying to split the lap traffic 3 wide for a short moment. Big run on the 21 of Grella to his inside, going into turn 6. Crossover move down to the outside goes the 21. Oh, he slowly missed our braking zone, and now he gets us in turn 7. And the top 3 now all within a second of each other with 29 to go. In the midst of racing in this lap traffic too. And almost got into the back of him. Look into the inside. Lap car, BJ McLeod in the way. Trying to pinch McLeod down just a little bit. Using him as a pick. It's going to work. It's not an official lead change until we get back to the start-finish line. And so far, so good out of Christopher Bell. And a lot heavier lap traffic coming up in front of us here very shortly. I don't like how Allgaier's getting back into this one, though. I haven't forgotten how great he was in stage 1. He's battling with Chastain for 3rd right now. Of course, Grala's definitely picked up the momentum as well. And missed our corner slightly again, and we're going to catch these lap cars here in a terrible position. 28 to go. Look at us have to go to the outside, all the way on the left there, 3 wide. Just to get around all these lap cars, it's going to barely work as we're barely able to stay in the gas long enough. We had to go out of the throttle to clear Matt Mills. Big, bold maneuver as we get later and later in this race. We do stay green all the way to the end. I'm not sure exactly when I am going to pit. Just going to try to run it out, fuel it out as best as we can first. Really zooming on by Vinnie Miller and now Jeff Green. Trying to widen out as big of a lead as possible. Don't want another issue where we're going to have to race really hard just to hold on to the lead. Quickly out to a 4-second lead. This is one of our better laps of the race, even in the midst of all the lap traffic. Feels like I've had a lot less off throttle time there over the course of that last lap. 27 to go. Maybe the front bumper cam is my best camera. Who knows? In these road courses, at least. I don't know. I'm just bouncing off the curves. I don't even care at this point. I'm just trying to get the car to stick. As long as we keep it on the racetrack, we're good. 5-second lead on Gralla. Almost an 8-second lead on Allgaier, who is now finally back up to 3rd as he has passed Briscoe. More contact there with Balicki now. A little more contact with Balicki. .26 laps left. Again, we are well within the fuel range if we did want to pit now, but we're gonna, if I would like to split this stage at least in half, it's what I'm gonna try to do. I'd like to run a little more than halfway though, if at all possible. 6.5 to 7-second lead on Gralla now. Going to pass Morgan Shepherd for position. 25 laps to go. Quarter century mark left in this race. A little wide through turn 1. Got a big enough lead though that that's not going to matter too much right now. And also with having a bigger lead, this is a tough pit road to get onto. Really any of these road courses are tough pit roads to get onto at any of the series. Almost kind of blind off the exit of the last corner of the racetrack. So if we can build up even a huge lead, we can really take it easy and waste a couple seconds just to get onto pit road. So at least we don't pit. Notice we were having a little bit of transmission issues though over the course of this third stage on this current run we are on. It like almost automatically wants me to shift early sometimes. When I really, it's only when I hit the rumble strips at a certain point. That could be costly as far as time, especially later in the race, and I'll have to keep an eye on that. I think it wants to skip a shift. Oh boy, man, we almost got into the 90 of Barcelo there, but we're able to stay in line again. Past Stephen Light, now trying to get around Timmy Hill. Barely beating him there into the chicane. What a race. Corrales still holding on to second, about 8.5 seconds off the race lead. Definitely sweating up a storm here in this one, I'll tell you that right now. It feels like this room's getting warmer and warmer over the course of the race. Very hard on the brakes into turn 6, about missed the braking zone. Went really wide off the exit of the corner. So we got about 43% tire wear left on the left front. We haven't saved fuel at all, we're still about 9 laps short on fuel to the end of the race. It's nice to know that we're not burning any extra fuel, but again, we know it's going to be a one pit stop race to the finish. Whether we pit under green or under caution though, I'm not entirely sure. About to have 60 laps complete in this 82 lap race very shortly. Almost to that point where we could cut this stage in half. And a couple more laps as far as the green flag laps are considered. 22 to go now. Seven-second lead on Gralla still. Really no damage on the race car. We won't have to repair any damage when we head on to pit road, whenever that may be. A little bit of a mistake there off of turn 7 again. Able to keep it going. Yeah, tires wearing out. 21 to go yet in the race. Allgaier has caught Gralla though. He is only about a second to a half second behind him. 34% left on that right front. Left rear is good. For the most part, right rear is good. So again, when will we decide to pit here? Because once we hit the start-finish line this time, we will cut this third and final stage into half. We won the first 2 stages of the race. If you're just joining us, we had some good battles periodically throughout the course of this one. Oh man, a little contact again there off of turn 7. Tires really wearing out quite a bit. 20 laps to go in the race. Watkins Glen. We've got the steering wheel here in this one working up a sweat. Good workout going on. We haven't caught lap traffic for a while in stage 3. We did catch a couple lap cars earlier and got another storm of them up ahead here. .30% tire wear left on the left front here. 14.5 second lead now on Gralla. All guys are still about a half second to a second behind him. Definitely going to try to probably stay out as long as I can here in this stage. 19 to go now. So far, so good. I start getting really out of control and out of shape, that's probably when I'll start to pit. And a little bit of transmission troubles throughout the course of the race. But the engine's still running fine. Oh man, 3 wide off the exit of the S's. Oh, slight contact now with Greg Galding. Despite running 3 wide, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. Billy Gates kind of pitting us on the racetrack. He doesn't want to go a lap down, and now he will. I'd say he didn't want to go another lap down. Only 19 drivers on the lead lap. We've got Josh Williams just ahead of us now. We're going to beat him, or try to, at least into turn 6. We're going to clear him off the corner. So 18 drivers on the lead lap now in this race. Still a pretty big lead for us right now. 26% left on the left front with 18 laps to go. Contact with BJ McLeod. Got to be careful though, because that's more damage we're going to have to repair. Already got a little bit of damage on the car. Another reason why we've got kind of a big lead going for us right now. Gralla, as our tires are wearing out, he has caught us a little bit. We had a 15.5 second lead. Now he's gained about 2 seconds here. Some of it is the damage, and some of it is just the tires falling off of our car, and he's able to keep it going on his and maintain his speed as well as he possibly can. He can still run at least 9 more laps as far as the fuel is considered here. Going to put Noah Gregson a lap down now, so only 17 drivers now on the lead lap. Here at Watkins Glen, getting a little tight off the edge of the corner. Contact with the 9 now, trying to keep the car pinned down on the track. 17 to go. Left front tire down to 20% tire wear. Look at that. Hurry up, get on by Noah Gregson through the carousel again. So, again, only 17 drivers on the lead lap. Gralla now about 12 seconds off the lead. Remember, he has gained about 3.5 seconds here recently. Is it possible to run green all the way to the finish despite having that one caution on lap 14? I mean, if we run, looking to the outside there, can't get around those guys. Try to break the draft here all the way down to the inside. Now coming back up before we go into turn 1. A little bit of an awkward angle because of it there, but we're still good. Even on these worn out tires right now, we're still running halfway decent. Whoa boy. Getting a lot harder to control this car though on the curbing. 17% tire wear left on the left front. We're definitely burning it off right now. Oh man. Probably should have stayed in third anyway. I'm not sure why I downshifted to second. Haven't really done that through the chicane at all on the racetrack today. This is just crazy right now. I mean, definitely trying our hardest. Elliott Sadler in 16th, the last driver on the lead lap currently, and he is just in front of us. Look at how loose we were off of turn 7 that time. Definitely getting a little looser. 15 to go. Up to about a 14.5 second lead again as Gralla's tires are starting to even out with ours now as everybody's just kind of skating around the racetrack at this point. Oh boy, on the brakes slightly there, almost got into the back of Brandon Brown. Now we're still side by side with Elliott Sadler. We're going to clear him. Now we're going to try to get past Brown through the chicane, and we do. Staying on the right side of Vinnie Miller, inside into turn 5. We'll get around him. He's already multiple laps down. Now he's, I think, 3 laps down in this race. Get on by Jeff Green. Down that straightaway, going into 6. Lead is down to 12 seconds again. A little contact there off of turn 7. Kind of got into the wall a little bit again. 14 laps to go. A little wide off of turn 1. Still all right though. 15 drivers on the lead lap. Yeah, we're definitely taking 4 tires. Not even a thought to take 2. Caution. So there it is. Caution is out for the second time today. So following caution number 2, how will this race finish out? Definitely going to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires this time. 1 can of fuel will be plenty enough to get us to the end. We got to repair some damage on this race car though too, so I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Thanks for all of you joining here for the finish of this race. We need a fast pit stop. Pitting from the lead. I'm sure everybody on the lead lap's pitting because nobody has pitted yet in this stage, and we fall back to 13th, losing 12 spots on pit road. That's just how much damage we had over the course of the race. This is going to be interesting. Green flag back in the air here at Watkins Glen. 11 laps to go. Already taking it 3 wide slightly there for a second. Now into the first turn, trying to just zoom around everyone on the outside. A great corner so far. This is going to get tight into the carousel now on the entrance. Still 3 wide. It's hard just to run side by side through there. Trying to stay off of Chad Fincham right now. Again, we've got the controller in this race. Oh, slick contact now with the double zero. Got us a little out of shape. Cole Custer.
Still there.
Look at us go. How about Chad Fincham, though? In 6th right now. Does he have a shot to win this race?
Still there.
And remember, the guys with the clean air seem to be the drivers that have been the best throughout the course of this one. Looking to the inside of Fincham. And we will complete the pass out of turn 6. Driving it in deep now into turn 7 to the inside of Nemechek. Heck of a corner, trying to side draft him down, getting away from him. 10 laps to go at Watkins Glen. And we're up to 5th off of turn 1. And here we go again. This is definitely getting interesting here. It's just so hard to pass here, especially in the dirty air. Oh, it didn't take the best angle into the chicane that time. I think Briscoe's going to pull us a little bit. Chase Briscoe, pretty good road course racer of his own. Thanks for the comment down below there. Tough to look at the comment section on these road course races. Especially with the steering wheel just trying to stay focused. Coming to 9 laps to go this time. I feel like we're gaining on the leaders. The top 3 look like they're all basically nose to tail. Then you got Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe here in 4th and 5th. Kind of racing with each other right now. Ross Chastain currently leading the field. He has not won a race yet this year. Look at how much speed we're carrying off of turn 1. A power move to the outside of Briscoe, and now we're side by side through the chicane. We're going to get on by and up to 4th. How will the finish of this race go? Definitely running these corners about as hard as we have all race long. Tyler Reddick hasn't been up in the front most in this race. I don't even think he's led a lap yet, to be quite honest. But he's running in 3rd. Not sure exactly where Allgaier has fallen. He was up towards the front in this one. We've only had 3 different leaders in the race, and it is the 3 leaders, or 3 of the top 4 rather, that you are seeing on the racetrack. We've led the most laps. Chastain has led the 2nd most, and Kaz Grala, who is in 2nd right now, has also led laps. 8 laps to go. It's just about trying to set these guys up and try to pass them and get around them clean, so it doesn't waste more time to try and get around the rest of these leaders. But what a race you are seeing right now. The top 4 all within a second to a second and a half of each other, and now quickly to the inside. Coming out of the carousel, we're going to make the pass on Tyler Reddick for 3rd. Everybody on fresh tires. It's just a matter of who has the best car and the best handling. Now to the outside of Grala here into turn 5. Really trying to pinch him down off the exit of the corner. We almost made contact there, but not quite, and we power past him now. Bell up to 2nd, now trying to run down Ross Chastain for the race lead and probably the eventual win of this race. Man, Grala drove it in deep into turn 7. Couldn't get us that time. We beat Chastain back to the gas now. Down the longest straightaway of the racetrack. Going down. Trying to get around him to the outside. We beat him back to the gas. Can we work through the shifts now? Side by side for the lead. Into the carousel. About missed our corner there. Now we're still side by side. Unbelievable racing going on right now. And Grala's closing into the picture. Side draft, now trying to get away from him. We're going to beat him into the chicane. And now just trying to pull away, and as long as we don't make any mistakes, we might have this one locked in. Of course, though, we always ask the typical NASCAR question, will we stay green to the end of the race as well? We've only had 2 cautions the entire race so far. We have had about a 50-lap green flag run in this one, too. So it's been very sporadic. A lot of decent amount of green flag runs in this one. And if we do go green to the end, it will be an 11-lap sprint to the finish. Taking our time into turn 1. Chastain wasn't really close enough to make a move there. I think Gralla is faster than him if he can get on by. We've seen Gralla pass us a couple times over the course of this race. And I think he's probably going to have the best shot to get around us. Whoops. A little bit of a mistake there. Gotta stay focused. Not a long race by any means, only 82 laps, but with the wear and tear that these stock cars put on these road courses does feel somewhat like an endurance event of itself. Now into turn 7, we're widening out the lead little by little, about a 1.5 advantage on Ross Chastain, who is on the bubble as far as the playoffs are considered. We still got 6 races to go in the regular season after this race, but only 4 spots still remaining because we have had 8 different winners so far on the season. About running about as perfect of laps as we possibly can, though, now to the finish. Just worried about getting to the white flag at this point. That would signify that the next flag will end the race. So if a caution comes out, the race will be over. Why these NASCAR races are never over until it's over. Will we catch lap traffic before the end of the race as well? There's a very good chance with 4 laps to go. We've seen how slow those back marker cars are compared to us leaders up towards the front here. And although we are pulling away, still not a big lead by any means. We're 1 mistake away, although these tires aren't going to fall off too much, and that's why we're able to push the car as hard as we can on this 11-lap sprint. Not nearly going to handle like it was after those 20 to 25 laps on the last green flag run. Oh boy, almost got into the wall there. Kept our foot in it though. Three laps to go at the line. See glimpses of lap traffic going into turn 1 right now, so we are definitely going to catch him if we stay green. Taking it easy here into the first turn. Just try not to make a mistake, and when we get to those lap cars, we got to make sure it doesn't take us too long to get around them. And at the same time, we don't want to make contact with any of them and allow Chastain, Gralla, Reddick, and them guys to catch up to us even more. Wow, heavy lap traffic. It looks like about 6 or 7 cars just in front of us. And this could shake things up. About a 4-second lead. Looking to the outside. First car we're going to catch is Jeff Green in turn 5. Going way wide here, using all of the racetrack. 3 wide, trying to get back onto the track now. Again, look at how slow all these guys are. Now into turn 6. We're doing a good job getting around them right now. Oh man, Morgan Shepherd really blocking us off right now. He's not giving us any leeway. At the line this time, we will have 2 laps to go. And Chastain only caught up about 3 to 4 tenths of a second. Which is not much at all in the grand scheme of things with this few amount of laps left. And almost got into Mills. Had to hit the brakes off the exit of 1. Ran him over. Just have so much of a closing rate on these guys. Trying to take it easy to get around them. And we're going to pass Vinnie Miller now around the outside as well. Back to the chicane again. We only have 2 laps to go. Can we get to the white flag? We definitely got to go though. Just 2 turns away from getting to the white flag. 7.5 second lead. Chastain kind of struggling to get through the lap traffic. Just hoping everybody runs their best laps of this race. Into turn 7. We're almost there. We're going to get there. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Christopher Bell at Watkins Glen. First road course race of the season. We won both stages, and it looks like we're going to win the race. And honestly, the way that interpole looks right now, that is not significant. Or I should say, that does not signify how close this race actually was. We had some great racing periodically throughout the course of the event. We didn't take the lead until coming to 6 laps to go either, but we just dominated the last 6 laps of this race. Really showing that we had the pole. We've led the most laps. It was the first race here in the Xfinity Series season in which we have qualified on the pole. Really showing our road course prowess. Man, those guys really just fighting hard for second at this point. Be another reason why we might have pulled away. Final turn of the race through turn 7. Right-hander. Coming off of 7, we're going to get to the checkered flag, and Christopher Bell will win at Watkins Glen here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Fantastic job. Great win.
Finishing it off in dominating fashion. We'll take it into turn 1 before we do our burnouts here. It's a lot wider. I don't want to put this thing in the wall. Here we go. And we already burnt the engine out on it, alright. Good win on a good race here. 87 minutes total time. It's an hour and 27 minutes. Again, we won both stages and the race. Chad Fincham had a really good run there. Finishing 7th, but he was really the only surprise finisher in this race. Gralla had a fast car. Briscoe had a fast car. Chastain. Reddick came on late for a top 5. Allgaier looked like he had about the 2nd fastest car in the race. Unfortunately, the last restart did not go his way. He finished in 9th. Obviously, again, a big points lead. It's just a matter of getting those playoff points before the playoffs start here, because you never know what could happen. We have had a couple bad races over the course of the season, believe it or not. But win number 13 on the year here in this one. We had the fastest lap with a 109.727. 68 out of the 82 laps were led by us. Started from the pole, we won, of course. Austin Cindric, good road course racer as well. He finished 10th after starting at the rear of the field and 37th. And Josh Williams finished 21st after starting 5th. That is going to be it for the live stream here for this one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button. We've got more NASCAR daily content. And in fact, because of the COVID-19 outbreak, we are going to have yet one more stream on later today. It'll be the Cup Series race at Auto Club Speedway. Not sure exactly what time I'm going to start that. Probably between 5, 6 o'clock-ish is what we're going to be looking at. So that should be a fun one. Be using the steering wheel for that race. Also, hit the like button if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video, etc. And I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching.